If you have any question, let me know about that. My friends, do you hear me? Active your microphone and you can call me or speak with me. If you have any suggestion about...
Hello, Doctor, how are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm fine, thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay. Do you have any question about our class in last week?
No, Doctor, we don't have a question. Just can you send the paper of study that take it last week?
Okay. Again, please, your sound is not very good, and I don't get it. Again,
Doctor, can you send the paper of study that take it last week?
Yeah, I sent you in Skype. You can check it in Skype. As you know, we installed the Skype, home in Skype, group in Skype, and I sent all of the document over there.
Hello, Doctor. I'm here. How are you?
Good. I'm great. And you? You have a football match between your country and Syria, yeah? Football match.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Do you have any suggestion about
Doctor, excuse me, can you send the link of Skype group again?
Just a minute, let me open Skype. Yeah, Skype. Let me copy it. I copied the link of our group in Skype in here. You can see it.
Yes, Victor, thank you very much. This is for second group, right?
It's your fourth group. It's your group.
Okay, Victor, okay, thank you.
Let me check it again. Yeah. It's your work group.
Yeah, I know it. That construction method is second.
Yeah. Concern number 2.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How are you, Doctor?
Good, yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. Can you send paper in the WhatsApp group?
Do you have any group in WhatsApp?
Yes.
Okay. I will send out a document. Yeah, I will send out a document over there.
The group now created to one group WhatsApp and sent to you.
Okay. I will send you all of document in WhatsApp too. Skype and WhatsApp. Okay.
Thank you. I now get to group WhatsApp.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Today we want to discuss about the construction method, lightweight steel framing system. I explained you about the best method of the construction. One of them was increasing the mass of or the weight of the building, and to construct the resistant building against the wind load or the earthquake load. One of them, the lightweighting. Lightweighting is very important and very important issue in construction. So we want to discuss about the lightweight steel framing system in this class. First of all, I would like to show you some image of ordinary structure, and to learn that and build the construction resistance about the many factors such as earthquake and other loads. You can see in here the phenomena that is called soft story. You can see in here the column in one story damaged by a phenomena that called soft story, and building moves about 3 meters from one story, and one story is compacted, and the building move. I said the building move about 3 meters in the X direction of the earthquake. Actually, substory refers to one level of a building that significantly more flexible or weak lateral loads resistance that the story above it and the floor or the foundation below it. That's the meaning of the soft story. So we should design and construct buildings without any substory potential. And in this figure, you can see another substory damage at earthquake time. It's very bad damage. Immediately damage. It's called substory. Therefore, for commercial space in a building, we designed the commercial space with the high level of columns. The stiffness of columns is depends on the height of the column, and with increasing the height of the column, the stiffness will be decreased. So when we increase the height of the column, the stiffness of commercial story of the stiffness structure will be decreased. So at earthquake time or the lateral load time. I said lateral load times are including terrorism attack, wave of terrorism attack, blast attack, explosion attack, or earthquake waves, or wind waves, and they increase in the height of the columns. They will be increased, and we will be decreased the stiffness of the structure. So with lowest stiffness at earthquake time, the soft story phenomenon. So you can see this building in another view. Actually, the before event of the earthquake, the building was placed at here, and after that, one story damaged by soft story phenomena, and you can see the story transferred about 3 meters over there, and you can see another figure. One level of stories will. One level compacted by soft story damage, and another soft story damage, another earthquake. This earthquake I think it is Kobe earthquake. Actually, in fact, 70% or greater reduction from one floor to the next, according to the modern international building code definition. So, if the stiffness is changed about 70% between two stories, the potential of sub-story is increased. International building code is the most famous building code in the world. My friends, do you have the local building code in Iraq? I'll repeat my questions. Do you have any local building code in the Iraq, or you use the United Building Code, American Building Code in the Iraq and your design processes?
We're not.
That's called American code.
American code, yeah. So, like, yeah, the American code like ACR, Concrete Institute,
Yes.
American Iron Institute, American Iron Steel Institute. Okay, but the International Building Code is most famous of the building code. It is international building code. In international building code, the sub-story is defined as if one story of the building, the stiffness of the one story of the building decreased about 70%, and in comparison between other stories, up or down story, the potential of this potential sub-story is increased in this story. Okay, and you can see in this figure another damage of the sub-story phenomena. It is a very immediately damage without any alert, so without any caution, without any alert. So design process, we should consider the sub-story damage of building and design building that can resist about the sub-story phenomena, or the construction process. We don't change the height of the column, because the height of the column and area of the column and the specification of the material of the column can create the stiffness resistance of the building. So it's very important we don't change the height of the column, and in design process we should consider this phenomena and make and design the resistance process for the lateral load to construct the safe building, especially in the high zone of earthquake, in the high zone of wind, or high zone of the attack load. Okay. You can see in figure 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories, 5 stories building. Story number 1 in the story in building number 1 story, level 1 stories. There is not any shear wall over there or the brick wall over there, so all of the stiffness stiffness can be summarized by the stiffness of the column. But when earthquake load or the lateral load are subjected to this building, actually this building subjected to earthquake load or the lateral load, the hinge point is created in the one level of the story, and the performance, the seismic performance of its structure can be shown in figure number 3. So it's very important for us to in the construction process to identify, first of all, identify, and then and the improvement, the soft story, phenomena in construction. So it's very important for us to consider the proper stiffness. The stiffness. Also, the stiffness of a structure can be calculated by some of the stiffness of each column. So, stiffness is very important for us, and increasing of stiffness is one of the methods to construct the optimum building. But I ask you a question: is increasing stiffness an optimal method in construction process or not? In your idea, is increasing stiffness an optimal method in construction process or not? Can you answer me?
Excuse me, doctor. When increase the thickness in columns must reduce the damage in building, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Stiffness will increase. Stiffness, the damage will be decreased. Yeah. But is it the optimal method or not?
It's not economical.
It's not economical. Yeah. It's not economical. Yeah, it's not economical. On the other hand, we should increase the flexibility of structures.
Yes.
Yeah. Flexibility is increasing the stiffness concurrently. Flexibility and stiffness. But I have experience about the increasing stiffness in an earthquake. You can see here we have an earthquake in the Burj city near Iraq border in 2006. 2006 in the Burj city. Burj city have many historic buildings or monuments. Historic buildings such as the historic mosque, historic place, and you can see it here. The main Zagros reverse fault created this earthquake in Burj city. And this is the focus of the center of this earthquake nearby Iraq border between Iran and Iraq. This is the earthquake details. The magnitude of this earthquake 6.1 is the one earthquake, and the time earthquake, and location of earthquake, and other parameters, the necessary parameters of this earthquake. I found some comments, also some comments and some necessary information in this earthquake. For example, we have this is the pressure. We have the pressure from the Arabic fault in south of Iraq and Iran, and pressure in here. And another fault is Eurasia, that resistance about this pressure. So many earthquakes in Iran and north of Iraq are created by this pressure. This pressure from Arabic fault in the south of Iran and Iraq. this is the center of focus of earthquake. And this figure show the movement in the fault, the normal full movement in the fault. At earthquake time, you can see in the wall of the factory, the movement of the wall, the factory at the earthquake time is the normal fault. And the evidence of the fault. By the way, we have a historic building that called Imam Mosque in the Fallujah city. This mosque has two Ivan, the South Ivan and North Ivan. I investigated in the South Ivan and found major damage in the South Ivan. It collapsed in the South Ivan, collapsed in the dome of the mosque, and collapse on the facade of the mosque in the South Ivan. You can see a lot of damage on the argument, on the facade, and other damage over there. So collapse of ornament in here, that collapse and through in here through down. So we have the very structural damage in the South Ivan. Many major cracks over there, dangerous crack over there, cracks over there. Many cracks. We have another Ivan. We have two Ivan, South Ivan and North Ivan. In the North Ivan, there is not any major cracks. There is not any major damage. There are not any major crack, major damage, and many collapse of orientation. So I decide to investigate about the South Ivan and went to the roof of the South Ivan. Is the South Ivan a major crack, a major damage? In here, I went the roof of this section. You can see the damage in other views. So we have two events. One event more collapse, and another one, North event, minor collapse. It's one of them major collapse, one of them is minor collapse. So I went to the roof of these monuments and found a tie beam that connected to support of this dome. This is the dome. And connected with, actually I asked someone who allowed me to go to the office to the group about that. He said me about one company in the retrofitting process to make reinforcement of this project against the lateral load. Designed this tie beam between the support of the dome. And unfortunately, this tie beam includes the stiffness of the structure, monuments, and as earthquake time, the major stiffness impact the dome, and many damage in here is created. So, it's very important for us to prevent the increasing of the stiffness. Increasing of the stiffness is very good for ordinary building, but for monuments, for the special building, for the historic building, increasing of structure without any adoption between materials, without adoption between brick, mortar, and make piping between two supports, inc- increase the damage of the structure. So the increasing of structure is not optimal process, optimal method of construction. It's very good to prevent the damage of the structure, but the addition, modification between material and various material in the historic building is very important to consider all of them and increase the stiffness that building could allow us. So another one, yeah, we have a problem about the stiffness. And another one, we have a major problem about the moisture attack on the brick in this room. This dome. You can see the moisture attack, moisture effect in this room, and there are many problems about the proof isolation. Actually, the contractor of these monuments will construct a waterproof, a damp-proof isolation in the roof section and dome section. In the historic building, there are the natural ventilation for control the moisture of the roof and the dome of this structure. And based on this isolation, the ventilation, the natural ventilation was stopped, and you can see many problems in this structure. So there are many problems in these monuments that we found after a earthquake. One of them increasing the stiffness to make the strong beam between two supports of this beam and the drawing method for roof isolation. I found another problem. My friends, please turn off your microphone. My friends, please turn off your microphone. Turn off your microphone. And I found another problem with this structure that you can see here. This handwork, gypsum board with handy, what was built about 800 years old. And this section was built in 6. There is not any adoption. There is not a cooperation between the new architecture and the past architecture. So there is another problem in these monuments. One of the problems was increasing the stiffness of a structure. Another one, major problem property and isolation. And another one is a combination between new architecture and old architecture. As you know, it's very architecture is very the old architecture of monuments is very variable for us, and monuments is very, very valuable for the board. So I found three problems, the major problems in this polymers. That's one of them. One of them was increasing the stiffness. So increasing the stiffness is not optimal method. Is not optimal method in the structure. And we should consider another method to control the natural load. One of them increasing stiffness, but the IBS, International Building Code, or American Building Code, another code has or define a limit of for increasing the stiffness, and we should consider the comment of the building codes to prevent the damage after earthquake time or the build of time. This is the north event. You can see there are no any major damage over there, and fortunately, a company that retrofitted the south event had many financial problem and financial problem, and they did not retrofit the north event. So the north event has a proper seismic behavior after school time. Fortunately, you can see in the north event there are many small cracks. It's not important around the opening. You can see opening around the opening is not very important for us, because after earthquake point with the restoration process, we can repair all of the micro cracks. What you can see in the south event, there are the major cracks, the major structural cracks, and dangerous cracks over there. My friends, that's the very good time for the coffee break or the tea break. I will join you after 5 minutes. Okay? I will join you after 5 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Be patient.
Take your time.
Okay.